Okay. So, hello everyone. So, I just want to let you guys know. April is Autism Awareness Month. What does that exactly have to relate to anything? You may wonder. Well, I will tell you. Just after I shift my mic to somewhere else. Okay, should be good. So like I said, you may wonder, what does that have to relate to anything? Well, I have autism. Some of you guys may have never even known that. In fact, some of you guys may have. Some of you guys may have not. But the thing is, autism comes in many different forms. It's not just one form where you see the people looking all stupid. No. That's not what it is all the time. Yes, that can be some of the stuff of severe autism, some of the symptoms of severe forms of autism. But what I have is what's considered a high-functioning form of autism. And that high-functioning form is known as Asperger's. So, basically what that can mean is that a lot of times, say for example, I may have extreme reading skill, like I'll have extreme reading skills, good writing skills too, just basically extremely smart. It's just that, say for example, I can have a hard time expressing myself verbally. And as you can tell, I do. That's one of the reasons why I'm taking a public speaking course. I used to call it a speech course, but then people were asking, like, speech therapy? I was like, no. Not a speech therapy. It's a public speaking course, and they're like, oh, okay. So now every time I let somebody know I'm in a public speaking course, I tell them I'm in a public speaking, not I'm in a speech course or speech class. Let's see. So, Autism Awareness Month basically is about all the different kinds of autism. High functioning, low functioning, non-verbal. Let's see. There are so many different kinds of forms of autism. In fact, that's why you hear about, like, a lot of times, the term ASD. ASD stands for Autism Spectrum Disorders. And of course, what does the word spectrum mean? If you were to think of it in science terms, say electromagnetic spectrum, the electromagnetic spectrum is defined as a broad range of wavelengths in the where the waves are composed of electric and magnetic forms. And then, so basically, a lot of times, those with autism, sometimes you may not even know that they have autism, for example. And so that concludes about that part of the explanation. Now, what I am going to do is that I'm going to be talking to you guys about my story with autism. Basically, I guess I could start out a little bit, probably what could have been the cause, stuff like that. And I'll clarify here first. A lot of people say there are some people that just think, oh, well, autism is a thing of bad parenting, is the cause of bad parenting and bad kids, blah, 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 blah. But that is not true. That is, in fact, those people are completely ignorant of what it really is. Autism is a neurological disorder. So in other words, that has to do about chemical imbalances in the brain. So, that I'm going to let you guys know about my story. So, I will start from, in a sense, the very beginning when I was in the womb. Which I know may seem a long ways back, but I'm going to go very fast through that. It's going to be, in a sense, my life story in a nutshell, sort of, when you think about it. So I was born 6 weeks premature. The reason why I was born 6 weeks premature is because of the fact that I was hardly growing in the womb. And my mom had almost miscarried me, too, believe it or not. She almost did. Because I was carried low. And the thing is, I can't remember what exactly the myth is. Girl high, boy low? Or no, I think it's boy high and then a girl low. But anyways, with that, I'll just say I was not exactly in the correct position, sort of. And, well, the thing is, I was hardly growing in the womb. And my mom was eating perfectly, stuff like that. She was following all the stuff she needed to do. So I was growing extremely slowly. The doctors decided to say, hey, we want to take the baby out. We want to do a cesarean section 6 weeks early. So then that way, hopefully, the baby will thrive better. They said that I had a 50-50 chance of living, and believe it or not, with how far along I was in the womb, they were saying that I could have breathing problems, I could have all kinds of different stuff that would be wrong. But then, I'm trying to figure out, okay, where should I start now? But anyways, let's fast forward to the time when I was 4th or 5th grade. By the time I was in 4th or 5th grade, my mom and dad were kind of wondering about, how I was behaving. They were like, there's something about him that doesn't exactly seem right, that doesn't exactly seem normal, like what you would normally expect. I would say normal person. But I was smart in just about anything. But the thing is, there were some key signs. Say, for example, when I was real little, I started speaking a little late for my age. Now, normally you would expect something like that anyways for a kid who was born 6 weeks premature. But it was a little bit of a longer time length than what you would normally expect. So that's why my parents were a little worried. Okay. But they didn't think much of it at the time. So years go by, stuff like that. When I'm in 5th grade, my not primary care, but I guess behavioral medication therapy doctor, whatever it is. He was referring to my mom and dad that I may have a form of autism. And so he referred us to a specialist who specialized in those things. And guess what? He was actually in the same building. So it wasn't long after that we had gotten me tested. First, the specialist tested me with, say, playing, the way on how I would play, the way, say, how I would write, stuff like that. And he was saying that that was all positive for basically autism, for a form of autism known as Asperger's. So, with that, my mom was like, whoa. And then but then just to be sure, he was asking my parents, a set of questions, say that could indicate even further if I have Asperger's or not. But anyways, here's the funny thing. My dad was answering yes for himself, too, for a lot of the questions. And he wasn't the one being diagnosed. It was me. So he was like, oh my gosh. It's very possible I had Asperger's. My dad was saying it's very possible I have Asperger's. I just didn't know it. So, with that, he confirmed all the stuff. And, excuse me. And, then my dad, no, not my dad, never mind, sorry. Then the specialist, had told us, hey, we have like a weekly group thing or monthly or something like that. I can't remember what it was. On it where we have people with the same disorder come together in a group we're in this place, and then we try to get them to get along, because of course a lot of times us with Asperger's and stuff, people with autism will often clash together. Of course that's not good. So it in a sense is supposed to build social skills, because one of the things of Asperger's is lacking social skills. So if I always seem socially awkward, that's the reason why. And then let's see. My mom was like, should we really do this? My mom had asked me, do you want to do that? I was like, yeah, sure. I'm okay. I'm okay with doing that. In fact, it may help. But it was only say after, I think, several, probably about 10 or something like that, group sessions that the specialist was moving his practice to down below in a different area. And with that, he was saying, because of course he had to have a cane and all that, he had back and ankle problems, so so he was like, okay, I'm gonna have to move down the hill. Do you guys want to continue or not? My mom and dad said no, because of the fact that we would have to be going about 100 extra miles just to get to the place. So, with that, let's see. When I was in 6th and 7th grade, I was getting bullied a lot. when I was getting bullied, hold on, let me check to see if there's been anybody that has been commenting, say, on the thing. Okay, nope. So, nobody's commented yet, so I'm good. I can just continue on. But I was getting bullied, and in a way you would not imagine. You would be horrified to know that it was a group of girls that would claim sexual harassment stuff against me when I did absolutely nothing. In fact, in some cases, such as one girl was saying, "Hey, he hit me in the butt," and stuff like that, with his folder or whatever. Because of the fact that the school was being overcrowded, because it was not built to hold 30, 40 students in one classroom. It was built for more like 20. So they had us crammed in. And of course, you can imagine, with being crammed in like that, you're going to have a lot of problems. Well, let me put this back up so then that way you're not seeing the sides of the thing. And with those problems, you'll have people fighting against each other and stuff like that. And, well, it eventually got so bad that one principal that we had at the school wanted to send me to a different school. I wasn't getting expelled. No, not yet. But she was like, "Oh, he ought to go to a different school." And she referred me to a school in the same district that was actually 10 times bigger, 10 times more crowded. And I was already having problems, trying to keep up with everything, trying to get from class to class on time. With classes probably about 10 times the distance or something like that, 3 times the distance, I would not be able to get there to get to class on time and stuff. And then not to mention, that place had a whole lot more bullying going on than the school that I was currently at. My mom and dad had already were already looking for a different school because of all the problems that were going on. In fact, they were tired of the situation that was going on. They're like, "Okay, we're going to have to, in a sense, go school shopping for him." And they found like a charter school, Excelsior Charter School, that was based out here in California. That's based here in Victorville, California. And with that, it was a much smaller school, especially for the campus that I was going to be at. The campus that I was going to be at was one in Barstow, which at the time, if you were to ever look up the campus thing, it used to be in a different spot. Say, if you were to be traveling through Barstow and you were to have to go down Main Street, or in other words, Route 66, on the west end of town, where there's a Chevron station, near the 15 freeway. I think it's the 15 business loop area. Originally, the school was right across, which is now a different charter school, Mojave River Academy. But anyways, I'm not going to say too much about all the location, all that, especially now. But I did a whole lot better there. I was getting A's, and I was for the first few years there, I was getting straight A's. And beforehand, in my other school, I was getting like average, like D average probably D plus average. There'd be like D, D, C, D, D, F. So, yeah. And then with that, I was starting to get more comfortable with the class. So, with the school and all that. And I will show you guys where I was starting to develop an interest in photography and stuff like that. And an interesting thing is that I like to use my photography to let people know, even those, hold on, need to change area, okay. Ooh, excuse me. I've always liked to let those with autism, and even those that do not have autism, that you can pretty much do anything that you want to, sort of, if you have enough determination. Now, if you're wondering what I am doing, I am setting my camera where it will aim towards me. So now you can see me. And so, I'm going to bring my thing down a little. And I'll be showing you guys a little bit of the photos that I've taken. So with these photos, I like to let people know autism isn't what everybody is not what a lot of people like to think it is. So one of the times I first started doing some really good photographs, I was starting to get extremely into photography, is during an Arizona trip that we were taking. For example, this photo, can't remember where, I think it was going through Needles or something like that, I'm not sure. I don't think it was. Yeah, it's not. It was going through somewhere in Arizona. But, and then we had gone to the Grand Canyon. There were some photos that just awed people right away. They were like, wow. How can you even do that? And I tell people, autism is not always bad. Let me open with photos. So like, for example, this photo of the Grand Canyon that I took. That is pretty good, honestly. And then I also still do a lot of photography stuff. But hey, like, a lot of people like to think, oh, well, autism is so bad. People with autism suck. They're a result of bad parenting, and they're stupid and all that. I don't like those people that go like, yeah, all the time. We're like, yeah. But that's not. But they are not talking about everybody with autism. They're talking about those, say, with severe forms of autism. And I will let you guys go there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep them. And that was my story. And just a reminder, April, Autism Awareness Month coming up. If you want to participate in it, if you want to participate in the Autism Awareness Month, it's actually pretty simple. A lot of people say if they support those with autism, stuff like that, they put a blue light on their porch or something like that, or in an area where not a lot of people will walk, of course, because those blue lights are very dim. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys want to do that, go ahead. I'm not... Hello?
He was sitting by the door and wanted to see you.
Alright, thanks. And so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.